Hello, I'm Professor P from the Houston Public Library, and welcome to a very special green edition of Professor P's STEM Lab. Today we're going to make biodegradable cups that act as tiny pods for seeds to sprout and grow. These pods are easy to make and easier to plant. You can just dig a little hole, put the whole pod in the ground without even a mess. And the main material that we will be using is this newspaper. If you ever have touched a newspaper, you will have noticed that the newspaper does not have the same feel from a book or a magazine. Newspaper print is thin type of paper made from low quality wood pulp, and it's not designed for long-term use. Since the newspaper was intended to report current news, newspaper companies chose this material because it relatively is cheap compared to other printed materials. The result is paper products that fall apart easily. Here are the supplies you will need for today's experiment. Newspaper. A couple of sheets will be more than enough. A cup of water, a bowl, a blender, a strainer, a cupcake tray or mold, and seeds. All right, now on to the process. First, tear the paper into small pieces for your blender. We're going to tear these up and place them into our blender. And finally, we're going to pour in a half a cup of water. Blend it lightly for a few seconds and check to make sure the mixture is chunky like Play-Doh. You can add more water if you need to. Now, we're going to use our strainer to strain the mixture. We want to place a bowl under it just like this. Pour your pulp mixture into the strainer and let the water drain into the bowl. Now we want to squeeze the pulp with our hands to remove the extra water. You don't want it to be as dry as a bone, but it should be able to hold its shape like this. Now we're going to take some newspaper mix and press it into the muffin pan like this. Then we're going to take a few seeds and we're going to put some in here. And now we're going to take some more newspaper and cover up our seeds like this. And voila, we've done it. You can plant these almost anywhere and they should sprout in a few days. These pods are perfect for guerrilla gardening. What's guerrilla gardening? Guerrilla gardening is a practice intended to make unused and neglected spaces beautiful, green, and healthy. There are blogs and community groups that can provide you with grow guides and supports in the cause of guerrilla gardening. The activity is sometimes an attempt to increase urban green spaces for recreation. It can also provide spaces with edible plants for your neighborhood use. Some gardeners simply do it to cover up unsightly areas or take back overly developed regions. It may even be a protest against inadequate government maintenance. Whatever your reason, guerrilla gardening can be a fun activity. Today we learned about newspapers, how to go green by reusing and recycling to plant for the future. Thanks for joining us today for a green STEM with the Houston Public Library. Do you want to show us your green thumb? Post a photo of your seed pod and tag us on social media with #ILoveHPL. We'll see you next time.